Hello everyone, I am Dr. Swati Gupta and today I am going to explain about EPS, earning per share. Earning per share is a key financial metric used to evaluate a company's profitability on a per share basis. It explains how much profit does the company generate for each share owned by its investors. EPS is important because it helps investors assess how well a company is generating profits relative to its outstanding shares. A higher EPS generally indicates better profitability and financial health. Now, formula to calculate EPS. EPS is equal to net profit minus preferred dividend divided by total number of outstanding shares. Now, components used in this formula. First, net profit or net income. This is the total profit left after deducting all expenses, taxes and interest. Second, preferred dividends. These are fixed payments made to preferred shareholders. Preferred shareholders have priority over common shareholders. These dividends must be subtracted from net profit before calculating EPS for common shareholders. Third, outstanding shares. This is the total number of shares currently held by investors, including retail and institutional investors. We will try to understand EPS calculation through an example. For example, a company ABC Limited is having a net profit of rupee 10 crore. Preferred dividends is rupee 2 crore. Total outstanding shares are 50 lakh. First of all, we have to subtract preferred dividend from net profit, which is 10 crore minus 2 crore is equal to 8 crore. This 8 crore profit available for the common shareholders. Now divide this remaining profit, which is 8 crore rupee, by total outstanding shares. EPS is equal to 8 crore divided by 50 lakh, which is 16 rupee. So the EPS of ABC Limited is rupee 16. It means each share has earned rupee 16. High EPS indicates that the company is earning more profit per share, which is generally a good sign for investors. Low EPS may indicate that the company is not generating sufficient profit or has issued too many shares, which is diluting the earnings. While consistent growth in EPS years after year shows that company is financially stable and has a good investment opportunity. Now come to the benefits of EPS. First, measures profitability per share. EPS gives investors a clear idea of how profitability a company is. Higher EPS means the company is generating more profit per share. Second, easy to compare across companies. EPS allows investors to compare the profitability of companies within the same industry. This makes it a useful tool for benchmarking. For example, company A has a EPS of rupee 15 while company B has an EPS of rupee 10. This suggests company A is more profitable per share, assuming all other factors are equal. Third, helps in stock valuation. EPS is an important component of valuation metrics like the PE ratio, price to earning ratio, which is used to determine whether a stock is overvalued or undervalued. I will explain PE ratio in the further videos. Fourth, useful for growth analysis. EPS growth over time indicates that the company is growing and becoming more profitable. For example, in first year EPS is 12 rupee, in second year EPS is 15 rupee, and in third year EPS is 18 rupee. A consistent increase in EPS indicates good growth of a company. Fifth, dividend potential. High EPS increases the possibility that the company may pay higher dividends as it has more earnings to share with its investors. Sixth, basis for investment decision. EPS is a simple and clear tool to help investors to decide if a stock fits for their investment goals. Growth investors look for companies with a rising EPS because it shows the company is earning more profit, which could lead to higher stock prices. Income investors use EPS to check if a company can pay good dividend. A higher or stable EPS often means that the company is in a good position to pay dividend to its shareholders. Now, limitations of EPS. First, does not account for debt or leverage. EPS only reflects net income and doesn't consider how much debt the company has taken to generate those earnings. A highly leveraged company may report a high EPS, but it could be at greater financial risk if it struggles to pay its debt. For example, Company A and Company B both report an EPS of rupee 10. Company A has no debt while Company B has rupee 500 crore in debt. Despite of similar EPS, Company B is more risky due to its debt. Now, second point, ignores cash flow. EPS focuses on accounting profits and ignores actual cash flow. A company may report a high EPS, but if the company experiences cash flow issues, it can affect its ability to pay dividends or reinvest in the business. Third, can be manipulated. Companies can influence EPS through their accounting practices or financial strategies. Company may use stock buyback method. It means by repurchasing shares, the company reduces the number of outstanding shares. That can show the high EPS even if earnings remain unchanged. For example, a company buys back 10% of its shares and reduce the denominator in the EPS formula. Even if net income stays flat, EPS will increase and it gives a misleading impression of improved profitability. Fourth, doesn't reflect future earnings. EPS is based on past performance and does not account for a company's future earning potential. A company with a stable or growing EPS might face future challenges which is not reflected in the current EPS figure. Concluding it, I can say that EPS plays a significant role in stock valuation and selection. By understanding EPS, investors can better judge a company's profitability and make better investment decisions. Thank you.